Is there a way to make $12K in a month? Best options might be contractual work, donating plasma, DoorDashing, and maybe a personal loan on top of that. Not really, no. Strike out 12 batters in about 28 days. I don't think it's feasible to pay all of that off within a month. However, I can give you some advice as a former apartment complex leasing agent. Evicting someone costs money, as does pursuing someone for back rent. Our office would often rather allow someone to simply break their lease rather than go after them legally, because it saves the complex money and also prevents the tenant from having an eviction on the record. With the amount of back rent you owe, it might make it a bit harder. Maybe offer to set up an agreed upon repayment plan that's on paper when you ask if being released from your lease is an option. Perhaps it's the kind of plan that can start after X amount of time so you can find alternative housing. If you can come up with cash for a temporary place to live at an extended stay hotel or something similar until you can get yourself together to rent again, that may be an option if your landlord is willing to let you go without a fight. Best of luck to you. This isn't an easy thing to face, and I hope you get through it as well as you can. First and last month's rent on a new place would only be a couple thousand. Why not just get a new apartment? My wife and I ended up homeless through a series of unfortunate events. We both drove Uber 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. We didn't get rich, but made around $150 a day each. I'm sure you can do the math and start making some amount of payments to your landlord. However, if you're unable to do this, you can get legal protection for staying in your place during eviction periods. I used to be a landlord for a 228-unit apartment complex, and another for a 32-unit apartment complex. And I learned some pretty tricky things about people getting to stay in their apartments and homes for almost a year without a single payment. Message me if you need help, because I'm not sure of the legal specifics for Reddit. Call your city's and county's housing department to get contact information about homelessness prevention programs in your area. Also Google homelessness prevention for your geographic area. Sometimes they can help with some back rent. Can you ask your landlord to increase the base rent until all the owed money is paid off? Legally, no. In the right market, prostitution can get you there if you're both willing to work, and you've got youth and looks on your side. Evictions are expensive and a PITA for landlords. I'd be willing to bet if you're making a good effort to pay it down, they'd be willing to extend that month for you. Unless it's a huge national conglomerate, of course. I do porn, and sadly you won't earn it so fast cause it needs time to grow a fan base, and you need to be consistent with the content you make. And always depends of what you do and people who likes your content, of course. I strongly recommend you do not go this way since you are behind money and there is no back in porn. Once your content is up on internet, it belongs to internet. And you can have problems with family, or you can regret one day. If you do that, it's because you want to do porn, not because you need fast money. If you already owe that money, do not ask for money, otherwise you will owe to someone else. Sometimes it's better to confront reality and eat your proud. Go back and live with your family for a while till you get a job and savings. And then restart without making same mistakes. Money is not a toy and credit cards are devil. Hope you can pass through this and give us good news soon. Never give up. GoFundMe. If it's at the point where you're about to be evicted and it's due to medical issues, you might have time to raise enough. If you have some sort of marketable skills, Fiverr could be an option for quick gig work. Or get an attorney. Your landlord wants rent, not the expense and hassle of eviction collections. Cleaning and re-renting. It helps to have a third party negotiate terms. And it does hurt to send the message that you might fight it in court. Best option though is to just move before an eviction shows up in your public court records. If you can work out a payment plan with your landlord, you might even be able to avoid anything going to court. Talk to a bankruptcy attorney, particularly if you have a bunch of other debt. Filing bankruptcy puts a temporary pause on all collection actions, including evictions. You can then work out a repayment plan with your landlord under the supervision of the bankruptcy court. People who can get an extra $12,000 in 1 month already know how to do it. That's because they have a source for getting that kind of money. No source like that is available to you. If it was, then you wouldn't need to ask how to do it. In order to earn that much money, you'd need to work 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, making $50 an hour. If it was possible to just walk into a job like that any time you wanted to, then everyone would do it. Unless there is some place you can borrow that kind of money, you aren't going to get it. That's reality. Line up another apartment, and do it now before you are evicted. Money bag. Go dumpster diving. Clean all the stuff and sell on FB Marketplace. Offer up. NEXTDOOR. Craigslist. Whatever doesn't sell. Have a garage sale. Also pick up dressers, nightstands, tables, chairs. Paint them and sell for $125,150. This is what I do to make extra money, and it works for me. Everything sells. Just don't paint stuff out of the ordinary colors like red, purple, yellow. Stick with dark stain top and white bottom, or all white with black hardware. Make sets like paint a headboard and footboard with dresser and nightstands the same color. If you can't find anything, go to Goodwill and find cheap dressers like under $20 and paint them. Let me know how it goes. Oh, and get a cheap plug-in paint sprayer at Harbor Freight, or just paint by hand if you can't afford to get a sprayer. I got a Wagner sprayer at Lowe's, but I forgot how much it cost. It worked for a few months before it took a dump, but you can always exchange it. If you are in California, it would be doable for 2 people with Instacart, but you'll have to work a lot. But I've had a couple $1,500 weeks. Gotta factor in GAD though, so that's like $1,300. Taxes as well, but you could always get the tax money a little later since this is the more pressing emergency. If you worked from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week, you might be able to break $2,000 per person before gas. You'd have to know life it the whole month, but it's not impossible. But you'd have to be in Cali, and most places have a waiting list. Good luck. Man, if it was as easy as asking Reddit how to make $12,000 in a month, don't you think literally everyone would be doing it? I wish you well. Personal loan, and then make sure you pay it back. So about those kidneys. Do you have the ability to work OT at your job? I could easily make $12,000 in a month at my job, as there is tons of open OT every day that they struggle to fill. I'd have to work every day, but it would be doable if I was willing.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.